Prince Donal, the king's son and current Tanistry-elected heir to the throne, is on the verge of his coming of age, just in time for a peasant rebellion, well, probably. Also, the new Persia and Free Peacock updates are out as of today's episode, so there's that. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Crusader Kings III in our Empire of Albion series. Things continue to go unusually well. It looks like we can usurp the petty kingdom of Lothian, which we kind of talked about the problems with that last episode. So we can, because we control enough of the de jure titles associated with Kingdom of Lothian, as you can see, we kind of have taken this swath of territory, partly by force, partly by vassalizing. We can just say, you know what? This title's mine now. So it's a way to forcibly vassalize what is not currently mine. It does seem like we might be close to being able to offer vassalage to Annandale, which is just a one-county realm right here. And the sooner we do that, the better, because Jorvik undoubtedly wants it. Strathclyde is the big one, but right now, their acceptance of any kind of deal is quite low. There might be some things I'm able to... You know what? Let's try and sway this character, maybe. If we can bring his opinion of me up, we might be able to vassalize him in a more friendly manner. But I might just have to go to war with him. We might just have to take his territory. Because at some point we have to control all of de jure Scotland if we're going to do this properly. So let's go ahead and unpause. Let some things pass by. We are on the way, or in the middle of a hunt, actually. Reeve Seward of Galashiels has been the star of the hunt thus far, his falcon's talons forever dripping and red with fresh blood, so much so that his glove seems to be stained a permanent crimson. I cannot help but probe what he has done to train such an obedient and masterful hunting bird, and he just laughs. I wish I could tell you it was my good training, but speaking truthfully, my glove is blessed by God. I'd be willing to give it up for the right price. So we would become the owner of the Lucky Falconry Glove, which would reduce stress gain, improve attraction opinion, and we would gain martial lifestyle experience. Now, the nice thing about this artifact is that it would be passed down. So any future ruler who we're playing as, who we would be like pursuing martial experience in, where we would adopt the martial lifestyle, if we went with this trinket, if we were to wear this trinket, have it equipped, then we would have extra martial experience. So 15 for his glove. I mean, I kind of feel like it's an obvious yes. I mean, that's 15 gold. It'll reduce my stress gain permanently for the rest of my life. Why wouldn't I do that? Don't answer that question. There might be a reason, but for now, I can't think of it. All right, let's continue. Ermintrude is pregnant again. We had a commenter point out, rightly, that the queen became pregnant while I was on the road to a hunt. Now, I actually think that she is in the entourage. It says right now she's at our court in Lothian. So I don't quite know how to interpret the fact that the queen got pregnant when we were away. There's certainly, like, shenanigans possible. That's one of the things I mentioned in episode 1 when I described that I went ahead with Ermintrude as a lustful spouse, knowing that there were some different options with the random starts that I had tried to get for the beginning of this series. Because this, again, the Scotland start can be so chaotic that it just seemed prudent to me to look at a couple of random starts and see which ones might be the most interesting. And there was one where we had Diligent and where the queen was lustful. And I was like, okay, well, Diligent is an upside, lustful's a downside, but at the same time, maybe drama's entertaining. And so some of these kids that she's having, we'll see. We'll see. Especially since she rejected our advances, last episode. That's cause for suspicion. It's kind of sus. We'll see. All right, so it looks like the hunt is progressing. It's time. Let's go to speed 4. I watch excitedly as my falcon identifies a target and takes wing from its watch, soaring high into the air. The beaters have scattered the honking brown geese, who now fill the air with their flapping clamor. Time and again, my falcon swoops in for a kill, but misses, retreats, or only grazes its target. After hours of attempts, the game of all but disappeared. The falcon's near exhausted, and the light is fading. A shame. So these hunts so far have not been very successful. Let us leave this adventure behind for now. We did gain some prestige. So this increases our hunter trait experience. Let me take another look at that, because this has changed since the last time that I was really playing CK3 a ton prior to it coming onto the channel. So now there are different trait paths depending on whether you're a Venator or a Falconer. So if you're hunting deer or if you're hunting smaller game with a falcon. So we've got a similar amount of experience in each. What do these levels give us? Ooh, learning and prowess. So once the kingdom has more money and I'm able to throw my own hunts, right now they're very, very expensive. Yeah, 140 gold for a single hunt. Once that amount of gold is easier to, it's not throwing it away, but once it's easier to justify that expenditure, then I will definitely be doing that more, because those bonuses are pretty awesome. It looks like we can vassalize Annandale. Her opinion of me has improved. So I'm going to go ahead and accept low feudal obligations just to get that into my territory as quickly as possible. It looks like Northumbria has reformed, which is interesting. And there we go. Donald comes of age. With his coming of age, my tuition of Donald is at an end, despite being a chatty child. Donald at times finds it difficult to get along with people. Few at any court would be overly impressed by his grasp of etiquette, but at least he does know how to hold his own in polite company. So that means his education went decently. So he has a 2-star diplomacy education. Now that he has come of age, this is going to be his education level. The stats can improve in other ways throughout his life, but this is one of the core mechanics in Crusader Kings III. So my character started out with a 1-star education level in intrigue. So he has an intrigue bonus and extra lifestyle experience in intrigue because that's what he was raised in. So Donald, I specifically chose to raise him as a diplomat. And so he got a 2-star education out of that, which is nice. His stats are really good. His stats are frankly better than mine. So it's like, as soon as Donald can become the king at this point, as this character, the better. I think it's just a sensible thing to plan for. Thank God I can go inside again. So the dynasty is definitely kind of taking shape, I would say. Let's slow down to speed 1 because things are kind of coming in quickly. So hold court. See what people have to say. First in line. 2 of my vassals are pushing one another and jostling to reach the throne first. Donald bows before me, my lord. Murder is wanted in the city streets throughout Kingdom of Scotland. It would be civilizing if we instituted a ban on townspeople bearing arms, at least within city limits. Mormer Earp? I think we decided it was Earp, right? Mormer Earp kicks him out of the way. Safety is each man learning to protect himself. Banning carry of weaponry will castrate the townspeople. Okay, so let's just approach this practically and look at what the various benefits are. We shall ban weapons within settlement walls. Control growth plus... Hold on. I'm sorry to do this during series, but despite my adjusting volume levels, stuff is loud. Louder than it should be. All right, let's resume court event. All right. We shall ban weapons within settlement walls. Gains weapons ban in cities for 50 years. 50 years. So control growth would improve. That's good. Danger would also be reduced. And Donald would have a higher opinion of me. Or we can go with the argument from Earp, which is open weapon carry permitted for 50 years, which would improve popular opinion but also improve danger. And this is for all of Scotland. We could also go ahead and just have Donald fight for his point. And the likelihood, because Donald is a good fighter, the likelihood that he would win is high. And we would lose some stress from this if we literally, now that Donald is of age, we say, okay, well, you have this dispute with your fellow lord, settle it yourselves. You know, we shall solve this safety debate with violence. I'm not going to go that route, but I think what I want to do, I think I want to kind of side with Donald, not only for narrative purposes, because he's the kid, he's just come of age, we want to have that opinion boost with him, but the weapons ban in cities, practically speaking, right now, for the things that I need politically, are, that's the sensible kind of way to go. So it's going to improve control growth and reduce danger, and I need control growth to improve at the moment, because I'm going to be conquering a lot of territory, and that's for 50 years. So, yeah, this does mean Donald and Erp will become rivals, but it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Over the last few days, I've heard tell of a mighty hero of the peasantry who has won the hearts and minds of the common people through incredible deeds and matchless bravery. This hero, who goes by the name Aethelheer, has been defending the small fork from the Norse raiders and has now traveled the way to Edinburgh to seek an audience with me. There is no doubt that Aethelheer is a great hero. However, my court are adamant that I do not elevate a commoner beyond their station. All right, let's... Holy crap! 25 prowess, brilliant strategist, aggressive attacker, and a holy warrior. So, if we get involved in a crusade or holy war later on, and this character's still alive, and he's 22, so we've got, what, 30, 40 years before his, well, maybe 20, 30 years before his prowess starts to drop due to age. But still, he's brave. He's calm. He's cynical. He's a godless adventurer. So he's got a cynical side. He's a bit grounded in his thinking. Not too religious. So... we could give him a basic... the options are we could give him a title. We could also pay a little bit of extra gold. We could just give him 50 gold, and he would join our court. And we could make him a knight, and it'd be awesome. We can give him a little bit more gold, which would put us into debt, but we would gain Honored Frontier Hero, which improves popular opinion by 20. That might offset the issues that we're having with Peasant Rabble at the moment. Also, levies would reinforce 10% faster for 10 years. We'd gain some prestige. And Aethelheer would gain the nickname The Fearless. Or we could be arbitrary. This would reduce stress, but we would actually imprison him. Actually, wait. Yeah, you would imprison. I didn't even see that top line because I was looking right at the 72 stress that we would lose, which is insane. We're not going to imprison him. I'm honestly kind of tempted to eat the gold. It's going to put us in debt by about as much as we're out of debt right now. But we'll gain some prestige. The popular opinion benefit could be really handy for kind of keeping things together at the moment. But going into debt is also going to hurt popular opinion. And the longer we're in debt, which at this point, let's do the math. That would be... all right, so 32. And we're making about 2.1 per month. So 16 months. We'd be in debt for more than a year. A lot can go wrong in a year in a kingdom that's in debt. There's also the levy reinforcement rate bonus, which is not that big of a deal. That has to do with just the reinforcement of troops when we're at war. Oh man, I'm torn. I kind of feel like this might be worth it. It's a bit of a risk, but I'm going to honor him as the hero that he is. My lord, I regret to inform you that I am at the end of my tether. My vassal Countess Blasia is clearly exasperated. The people over which I should rule are an uncontrollable... Actually, this is... I think I just vassalized her. Okay, so she's coming to see me. She has problems now that she is in my charge. She is putting those problems on my shoulders. The people over which I should rule are an uncontrollable mob of unruly barbarians with ridiculous customs and a terrible taste for food. All my efforts so far have been in vain. It just seems impossible to make civilized people out of them. I'm afraid a strong intervention from above is the only solution available right now. All right, so we can have Dristan, the steward, start the promote culture task. and she would gain 20 opinion of me, which is a good way to kind of get in the good graces of a new vassal. We could also say that we respect their local traditions, which will improve popular opinion for 10 years. She will not like it. I will gain court grandeur and gain prestige, though. I kind of like that idea. She's not strong enough to challenge me, so I really don't... I can gain back her good graces in other ways. She's a new vassal, and her family will be vassalized to this line for the foreseeable future. So, yeah, we respect the traditions of all of our subjects. I'm going to go for that prestige gain. My business here is done. Okay. There's that. All right, so fantastic. Let's take a quick look. Looks like there's a grand tournament happening, too. Greetings, King Constantine of Scotland. I'm organizing a grand tournament in the Mon. We will start with the recital contest, a chance to show your skill to all I warrant. So, is this who I think it is? So this is the steward. Remember, Jarl Ivar was once ruling this section of our territory before we kicked him out. So the guy that's organizing this particular steward, Chieftain Kettle, is the... But the guy that's organized this particular tournament is the steward of this Jarl. So, I don't know. That kind of seems sus that I'd be invited to that. I'm going to go ahead and accept, and I'm going to be very transparent with you, Legion, as far as why I'm accepting. If it's a trap, if there's shenaniganry afoot, right? If something's about to go down, which is possible. I mean, I don't know all of the outcomes of these new hunt events. It seems likely to me that this could have some shenanigans, or I could be overinterpreting. Either way, we're going to pretend that that's possible just for the sake of enjoying that, you know, particular, you know, avenue. But that being said, if something goes wrong, I'm not, nothing against Constantine, but Donald is awesome, and he's young. And if he were to become king right now, I would have control over Donald for the entirety of his life and really continue to develop him while also developing the kingdom under his rule. He's a really strong character. So, like, not to be too cold, but, like, I'm kind of okay with taking risks with the king's life right now. So we're going to join the grand tournament, and we'll see how this goes. Now, right now, there's no cost. I don't have a caravan master yet, which is a little bit unusual. We could hire experienced captains. Interestingly enough, yeah, there's not much of a sea journey, it seems like. So looks like the main terrain type I'm traveling through are plains, some hills. Yeah, mountaineer would reduce the most danger. Okay, let's go. And then if we select this, so now we can select what our option is. We haven't done this yet for the activities we've been invited to, but see, there is a possibility for murder. So this is why I say this. It's like, there could be shenanigans. We could just say recreation. We could say triumph. I don't know that I will necessarily have what I need in order to triumph at this. So it's almost like I could attempt to befriend someone. We could recruit. I don't know. I kind of just want to go for recreation, but the thing is my stress level is already pretty low. So I may as well go for triumph just to see what I can accomplish here. I can still get maybe some prestige out of this. Plus, I don't think we've done too many grand tournaments yet. We've done several hunts this series. Nothing more. Yes, I know. I'm in debt. Hopefully the rest of the Mon won't be as rotten as Chieftain Kettle, but we should be as wary of what goes down when in the lion's den. Yeah. See? See? So every available unlanded knight you have will accompany you to compete. Okay, so that's a big deal because I'm bringing several impressive knights with me. Let's take a look at this. I could even recruit Wolf if I had the money. I don't at the moment because I'm in debt, as we discussed. I'm still in debt about... Yeah, I'm actually in debt the exact amount that I expected to be, come to think of it. So it's fine. Is there anyone I can imprison, or not imprison, but anyone I can ransom? Oh, hello. Oh, no, it doesn't look like we can ransom them. All right, they can't afford their full ransom. So there are some that I can ransom. But no one landed. Yeah, I haven't really been in a fight recently where I've been able to take a more powerful character. Okay, it looks like I've entered into a regency. And it's because I'm, you know, going on a trip. So one thing I need to make sure of... The scales of power are currently firmly in my favor. We can tell our regent, and by the way, this is Aid, our brother, the spy master, the one we don't trust. He's now the regent. So we're going to have to keep an eye on him while we're at this particular event. I want to have him fill the coffers while he's the regent. Let's see if we can get that to work in our favor. Also, I'm going to be tempted pretty soon to pass limited tribal authority and start moving us towards feudalism. Yeah, so Chieftain 8 is the new player heir for now, which I don't think that'll last. I think as Donald continues to age and become awesome, that'll be less and less of a concern. People will like him more and more. Also, I need to give him his duchy now. It's time for that. A lowly delicacy. On our way through Dumfries, we appear to have stumbled into a local food market. Everywhere, peasants and nobles of every culture and tongue clamor around exotic food stalls, the air thick with fragrances I never had imagined. My nose is drawn to a lowly stall stacked with a dish I could only dream of. I am pulled out of my haze by the halting grasp of Lesser Fiona. Do not waste your palate on this slop, my lord. Bowls of stew are for peasants. We have much finer foods at home. I am the king, and I want my bowl of stew. So we could possibly gain a nauseating meal for 2 years, which would worsen stress gain. That's it. Or we could lose stress, gain a small health boost, and improve stress gain for 2 years. There's a 60% chance of that. You know what? I am the king, and I want my bowl of stew. The food was amazing. You lost 7 stress, and you gained a good meal for 2 years. All right, we're good. We're good. Tournament arrival. I've arrived at the site of the tournament here in the Mon. Though not all the revelers have yet arrived, throngs of people wander through the colorful surroundings, all looking forward to the forthcoming displays of skill and prowess. There is no time to lose. I must begin preparing. I must be a victor at absolutely any cost. I can't wait for it to start. Okay, so let's go down to speed 2 because we have a lot going on. You may not qualify for the recital contest. Okay. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Let's take a look at this. What sort of tournament are we looking at? Looks like there's a recital. All right, so this is not going to be a it doesn't appear at the moment that there are going to be martial activities of any kind. However, there are a number of activities. Hold on. I'm just realizing this. There's so much that I can do right now. I didn't realize that this would make this event pop, though. The gloom of the tavern is offset by the crackling of the fire and the ongoing revelry of the carousers. I slip past 2 particularly rowdy drunks and sit at a nearby table, empty apart from one figure. A fine night, is it not? Saga gestures at the ragged crowd. I nod politely. I barely finish returning my head to its position as Saga whisks a set of dice and cups on the table. Care for a simple game? A fool could play it. We both roll under the cups, and you guess whether your roll is higher or lower than mine. She smiles, a gambler's glint in her eye. Best 2 out of 3. Who are you? So this is Jarl Ivar's caravan master. She already has a low opinion of me. I'm just going to say I'm no gambler. All right, so it looks like you can only maybe choose something like that. Like during the different sections of the tournament, this is awesome. I've done these before, but I don't know that I've paid enough attention to these new interface elements because it's relatively new. So there's so much flavor that can happen here. So we've got the activity log, just of things that have happened in the hunt, all the guests, and you can also manage the attending champions. See, Donald's here too, interestingly enough, so I guess I'm risking everyone's life. But, okay. We'll have to continue to see how that plays out. It's good stuff. So apparently I don't have an alliance with... This is my brother-in-law, because he's married to our sister. Sister Milmuri. Oh, for a second I thought she had some role on the council, which made no sense, but just High Chiefess is the term for queen over there, I suppose. The Knights of Edinburgh needs a worthy successor. Yeah, we've still been looking for one, haven't we? I'll hold off on that for now. The main thing I need is money. Alright, so we definitely have had some additional populists pop up. I think the one that... The solution that I sort of went with earlier in the episode, when we had our awesome knight join our court, where I went into debt more than I wanted to, it did actually have the effect of kind of pushing off that other potential peasant rabble that was about to send a threat in the last episode. So it worked as intended. And, I mean, if I had gotten into a fight with them, I don't know that I would have really gotten a lot of money out of that, because it's a local rebellion, so it's like, it's all dealing with resources and money that is mine to begin with. Oh, Petty King Ark will die. Ooh, there's an opportunity. All right, contest begins. Hold that thought about the Petty King. We're going to come back to that in a second. The entrants mill about the main tent, warming up vocal cords and memorizing stanzas as the crowd fills the amphitheater. A newcomer called... I'm not even going to try. Going to have to check that later. Heretofore unknown among the poets and bards of Mon, has garnered much interest this year. May the best win. There are a few people that have commented already with pronunciation guidance on a few names, so if anyone would like to talk about like the best way to pronounce that, I would love to learn. I wonder who will win. I have a bet to place. I'm just going to say I wonder who will win. I'm not going to place a bet. Okay. So a couple of things happened there. I think Donald qualified for an upcoming event. Maybe there is going to be a martial progress of some kind. Or a martial event of some kind, I should say. Alright, wasted concessions. I spin on my heel to find myself confronted by Ingenvild, her goblet swishing with the remains of the unidentified drink currently crawling its way down my back. Now then, watch where you're going, she burbles, gesturing accusingly at me with the cup. You should be more careful. Guards, get this loathsome doxy out of my sight. We could lose some stress, or we can say, you're right, my mistake, and gain soaked for 5 years. I mean... some sort of fluid, something both hot and cold somehow? Let's just say, get this loathsome doxy out of my sight. Helgi is clearly winning, so long as his nerve remains steady. Hang on. So this is Kettle's Chancellor. A win is all but guaranteed. A single word out of place is enough to get the crowd groaning despairingly at this point, whilst pithy deliveries cause tumultuous applause. Spectators stamp their feet and cheer as competitors approach the stage, a feverish atmosphere well underway. There are precious few competitors left to go, and even less time. It all comes down to this one last verse. Okay, pause for just a second. Because it's time. So Donald is now going to be the Duke of the Isles. He's still going to be my vassal, but he's going to be over the other vassals in this area. So hang on, let's see how this goes. All right, so he now holds the Isles. We can usurp the Petty Kingdom of Lothian. In order to do that, yeah, Ooh, I need 250 gold to usurp that. I didn't see that cost the first time. We can also create the Northern Isles, but that would, again, still cost 125 gold, the same way the Duchy of Albany did. And on top of that, you know, it would give me a prestige bonus, but it would put me farther away from being able to usurp that other title. So, recital's over. I guess I'm curious if there's going to be a martial event after all. Because somebody qualified and Donald's sword was on his shoulder, so I'm not sure if that was actually an indication of something coming or not. Again, this particular section of the game is very new to me, so kind of learning it in real time. Trumpets sound, the crowd clamors, competitors begin to assemble, the contest is over, and someone's moment in the sun is being readied. A herald steps forward, voice booming out across the scene. After many trials, some tribulations, and above all else, some truly spirited competition, we have our final three. In third place, the name I'm not going to pronounce, coming in a close second, Helgi. That, of course, leaves us with our victor, Orthonak. So, wait a minute. Okay, so an Irish fellow. The best man won. Alright, so we didn't gain anything there. It looks like... That was interesting. It said your qualifying champions, but Helgi is not one of my champions. Remember, we looked him up and he was definitely under Kettle. So that throws me off a little bit. It says your qualifying champions. I'm guessing that's just referring to all three. Oh, yeah, there were two Helgis. Interesting. So this is the one we looked up. But yeah, they're both under Kettle. Donald's not, but he didn't win, unfortunately. Sad day. So I guess that wasn't a martial contest. What a great occasion. So it looks like a prize brooch was granted. Oh wow, fertility boost and somehow, and a prestige bonus. 4% per month, basically. Not bad. Not really 4%, it's 0.04. Doesn't work in terms of percent. Because you can technically have as many bonuses to prestige as you want, and it will always, you know, be something that can increase. There's no, like, upper cap that I'm aware of. Alright, so we gained Tourney Goer for 5 years. That will reduce stress gain. Okay, well, there's that, at least. But not much else happened there. Okay. Well. Finish the Grand Tournament. Yeah. Not much to report from that particular tournament. We just need to get out of debt. Local hero. As we traverse the grasslands, trudging through the dirt, we encounter a modest wayward shrine. Naively carved, it sports a cross at its head, and below the weathered words, "Here lays St. Rioged of Strathclyde, blessed son of Wigtown." St. Rioged? Strathclyde? It seems a local spiritual figure is being patronized in these parts, one not sanctioned by the Catholic clergy. So, we can gain some piety by casting down this heterodoxy. The clergy will like me, including the Pope. We'll gain stress because we're arbitrary, because we're doing more than we should, basically, if we're arbitrary. Or we could actually patronize him, pay 5 gold, gain popular opinion. Looks like the petty king of Strathclyde, who I need to talk to, actually, because I might be able to vassalize him, he would gain opinion of me. And cultural acceptance between the Cumbrians and the Anglo-Saxons would improve. And this actually wouldn't affect the clergy's opinion of me, believe it or not. And if we vassalize them soon enough, there's a 10% holding taxes benefit and popular opinion benefit. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. A foreign treat. It's not the first time I catch my champion Pedrick fiddling around with some flowers he's been picking along the road. Sometimes I swear I even hear him sighing, overlooking Gulwhittle's holding. My liege, he says, it's not a secret that my heart has found a new home far from home. Alas, my soul aches for Sybil. My desires know no end. Her eyes, her hair. I long for just a salute. I die for a word. Please, I beg you, let me stay with her. Aw. I mean... we could just bring her along? I mean, I can go without him. I can say, who am I to interfere in higher matters? Sure. It's fine. If you're in love. Like, you are replaceable. You're not one of the best champions I have. I mean, his prowess was good. But I'm actually been very lucky this particular playthrough with the amount of, like, quality vassals that I have. All right. Ermentrude has given birth to a perfect little son. Who will become my child? Let's see. Oh, yeah, Benedict, for sure. May you grow to be strong and wise, my son. All right, so, speaking of that... hold on. Another event. That was really fast. Travel. What the duck? The day on the road has been fairly calm and nondescript so far. We are somewhere outside of Pinnacook, and I close my eyes as my mount brings me forward at one solid step at a time. As the wind plays a magnificent melody through the treetops, another noise is carried by the breeze, and not from our entourage. Is that quacking? I isolate the sound to be coming from a shrubbery on my right-hand side. That's a good omen. You gain duck quack for 5 years. Follow that duck. I mean, yeah, let's follow it. Why wouldn't we, right? I dismount and locate the duck in the nearby shrubbery. It starts waddling off into the wilderness, and I follow by foot. Suddenly, the duck stops and tilts its head in my direction, clearly confused as to why it has procured a human follower. Especially one that looks like this. I smile at the duck, trying to ease the tension, but the duck suddenly squirms, flaps its wings, and flies away. What a wild duck chase. Okay, pause. Couple of things, because we're at the 37-minute mark and I need to stop this episode here. However, oh, he's at war right now. With who? Oh, wow. He's at war with some counties in Ireland. Is he involved as an ally? He is. He got pulled in as an ally. Well, that's annoying. I wanted to vassalize him. The good news is his opinion of me is actually pretty good, and as soon as I'm out of debt, it should be even better. The regency should end soon, but there's another thing that I wanted to do, I think. What was it? I think it was that I think that was the main thing, that I wanted to see if I could vassalize him. Let's make sure. Okay, well, we're at the 38-minute mark. I'm going to go ahead and stop this episode here. In the next one, we're going to see if we can actually bring him into our territory. And also, at some point in the next few decades, the Scottish culture event should pop, maybe, I think. And then we'll actually be the Scottish King of Scotland, and I can check off that box on the thumbnail. And we can start focusing on procuring land elsewhere so that we can control all of the British Isles. There's really nothing at this point stopping me from starting that particular process. I just don't want to put the cart before the horse. I don't want to, you know, start pushing to control more territory before I've really accomplished that first objective or feel like it's firmly in hand or going to be in like the next episode or two. So just making sure that I've got the de jure territory that I want, which is this, locked down, which by the way is going to include the Isle of Man that I just left. That's where the tournament was held. That eventually needs to be part of our territory sooner rather than later, in fact. But that's all for a coming episode to figure out. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. If you're not new here, look for the join button to get access to Shannon unique emotes, badges, and other perks. New episodes drop every day but Tuesday at 11 a.m. US Eastern Time, and comments are always welcome, so leave your thoughts below. And I'll see you next time.